Hello people, welcome back to the channel. It's Chrissy Sawyer here with, I don't know, I asked myself the other day, how am I feeling? Where am I? What am I? And the words that came out, forgive me if I've told you this before, but the words that came up were, I'm standing on the edge of my map with nothing but a bunch of crayons. It was that. And there's some, I'm sensing into some odd energies coming in. It's kind of between the higher heart and the throat, and it feels mercurial. I caught myself doing 7 things at the same time this morning. It feels very busy in the head. So I've just done a grounding and a centering, and I'm going to have to work with this. It's not ready to be dispersed or even integrated at the moment. It's just an odd, chaotic, changing energy. So something's shifting today. So I'm going to speak into it. I don't know what's going to come out. I've got an idea with the first couple of cards that have come out. So I'm just going to play with it. So if my energy is a bit all over the place, then I can live with that. Right. So first of all, a couple of thank yous. Thank you and welcome to the channel, Melissa Tediger. I hope I've said that correctly. And hello and welcome to the channel, Ranonymous, R-Anonymous. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I want to speak into Juno just a little bit because I look at this energy. It's weird, I don't like it. So I stumbled across Juno the other day. And clearly she wants to be present in some kind of way today. So I'm going to bring her in. So there is Juno. There is a, Juno is an asteroid, a goddess asteroid. And she is going retrograde in April. So next month. Sorry, I don't have the date, but Google it, it'll be there somewhere. So Juno goes retrograde next month. And Juno is the goddess of contractual partnerships of all kinds. And that's all I'm going to talk into with Juno. That's all I'm going to say with Juno. So I keep seeing the Hierophant coming up, and I've been talking into an elevation of the expression of the Hierophant energy. It's like he's moving up out of the patriarchal structures of what a contract is between humans and internally between the soul essence and the aspects of personality that are out of alignment. And it's really felt like the Hierophant has been elevating and elevating. So, and I'm really going to throw myself in the deep end with this strange energy. I'm going to work with a new deck, which is the Lightseer Oracle, Lightseer's Tarot, sorry. So I'm still learning this deck. I've only played with it twice, and 3 times the first card has come out, okay? So the first 2 cards out were this one and the Hierophant. So the first 2 cards out in this order are the King of Swords and the High Priestess. And the way I'm reading this is the shift. It's showing me the shift. So the King of Swords, handsome dude that he is, so that's kind of saying higher mind, okay, or lots of mind. And he's a cool dude. He's very logical and analytical. He can be quite aloof and seem emotionally unavailable. And so it might be that he's been, so I'm speaking into the inner masculine. Yeah, it's both, isn't it? It's both. It's the inner masculine in the self-development work. And it will be masculine relationships in your life. And that can involve women who live strongly through their masculine, and it can be men. So Yeah, of course. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and govern yourselves accordingly. Bear with me. There's something I haven't done. Hang on. I forgot to plug in. This one's going to be all over the shop. So we've got the King of Swords. And yeah. So yeah, he's deeply thoughtful, thinks his way through life rather than feels and senses, in spite of the fact that he's surrounded with all of this wisdom, with all of these messengers, okay, which might represent his intuition. So my question might be, is he listening to his intuition? But just as a question. So he came out on top, and underneath him comes the High Priestess. And the first thing I saw was that the High Priestess is, it's mastery of the intuition. Okay, it's the intuitive feminine, receptive, passive, creative self. And it's almost like she's beaming up to her masculine, the way, so that he can move more into his sensing feminine, because we've got mirrors here, into his sensory perception, and maybe let go of a little bit of logic, maybe let go of a little bit of that left brain busyness that I'm feeling today a lot. I might be in my King of Swords actually today. It's weird energy. So, the High Priestess. Yeah, what I'm seeing is like a fiber optic that's gone from her to her male, masculine counterpart, and she's pulling it in from the cosmos or from the universe within her and beaming it to him. And it's totally passive. There's no big dynamic action here. It's totally passive, but powerful. Okay. So the underlying energy for these two start cards. And I see this as being on top of that. Look at what he's moving up into. She's carrying the whole thing and she's beaming up to get him more out of his logical, analytical mind into this dreamer. I mean, pigs are flying, feet not touching the ground. Dreamer energy is the underlying. So yeah, Page of Cups is, well, he's an adventurer and he has all of that sensitivity, joyful heart. He's a happy bunny. And an innovator. Okay. But in his shadow sign, he could miss the signs that she's sending, you see. It's all coming together. He could miss the signs. He could miss the signs of the feminine because he's thinking about it rather than feeling it. For the next two cards to have come out tells me that the change that's I'm sensing into already today, might be swift. So if the Eight of Wands comes out, that's going to be a conversation, confirmation. You can't even talk. So look at these two. Honestly, this is, and again, we have the Empress and the Emperor, the power couple. Okay, let's put them side by side. Wow. That's interesting, because this is actually a ram's skull, but I'm seeing it as a bird taking flight. And I see the chess piece as, I see the board, black and white, all black and white and structured, and the structure of playing a game of chess and the strategy of playing a game of chess. Now, I know traditionally the emperor is the mastery of all four kings. What I'm seeing is that, let's call it the patriarchal structure, is like taking flight, leaving, which is going to help that emperor just to take a load off. He has the ankh on his arm, which is the mirror. It's the mirror. You look into the mirror of yourself. So it's almost like he's going inward to find the essence, to find his divine counterpart. So if I put this all in the 3D, it could look like in the next couple of weeks, or as we move through April, there are literally going to be divine counterparts coming together. And yeah, I'm sticky around that language, but until I find some more language, find your own words. But strong matches, equal matches, Emperor and the Empress, equal matches. And that doesn't come without challenge. You know, there will be challenge in these seemingly perfect relationships. This is why I get sticky about it, because people hear the words soul flame, twin flame, and soul whatever mate, soulmate, twin flame. And part of the mind moves into dreamscaping, and it never is. Soulmates are there to slough the rubbish off the soul, get it back to its incorruptible, pure expression, the essence of the soul. You can't do that without conflict. In relationships, conflict in relationships can be a very healthy thing, a powerful catalyst to help you dissolve the nonsense that stops you being in a beautiful, loving space, knowing that you have everything around you, you know, in that beautiful fecundity that's part of a natural expression. So another new deck that I'm working with is the Surrender deck. Yeah, I've put the box away. I can't tell you who it's by. I'm sorry. I'm bringing you my useless today. Oh, I love it. Shabang. Okay. And there's an exercise in this. And there's a question in this of, how do I receive love? So when something or someone gives you love, it can be a cuddle from your cat. It can be a kindness from a friend. It can be a loving embrace. Do you move into that? And do you let it permeate your field? Or do you just nod and hug back? And it's just like one of these patty hugs. Are you really feeling it? Are you really allowing that receptive feminine to embrace, support, love, holding, kind words? Okay. Because it's very easy to accept criticism. We're programmed for, we're hardwired for it, to accept someone else's should. We're learning to surrender. You know, that was my key word for 2019. And as a collective, we are learning to receive love and support. And we're learning to receive support because soul groups are forming. We're attracting soul families. They're all coming together now to work as a collective. Yeah, Age of Aquarius. Okay, so let's speak into this. So that kind of sets the frame. Here now, it's like the the inner masculine is rising into his feminine expression, is rising into some level of receptivity that's going to help alleviate the pressure on his analytical mind. And what we're moving into is power couple territory, absolute alignment, harmony, and balance between the inner masculine and feminine, and that is going to start appearing in relationships. Indeed, I'm seeing an awful lot of relationship breakdown at the moment, so people are getting ready for that purge of what hasn't served, what wasn't true, what was based in a false reality, to come into a more visceral expression of what is masculine and what is feminine, and how do those work together. Okay. Okay, so this seems like well, yeah. I was going to say, it seems like it's a happening reading. This is all happening. So I want to actually invite the human experience into that. And is there anything that will support, what will support us? Is there anything we need to do? Is there anything we want to do? What can we do to support the transition to equanimity, it feels like? Stop it. Stop it. His counsellor's turned up now. Yes, but what do you feel? Well, I think now I didn't ask you what you feel, the amount of times I've used that sentence. I don't remember asking you what you think. I do remember asking you, what do you feel? What is that feeling? Now, this applies to everybody, okay? I'm not talking to men, I'm not talking to women, I'm talking to humans with both of these archetypes within them. What do you feel? Because we're completing a cycle here. It's a colossal cycle as well. Look at the matrix here. This is a colossal cycle. Well, so if this were talking, it might say, oh, I've told you what to feel. I've told you what to feel for thousands of years. And now I'm going to take that away. I'm going to leave you with your own feelings. And how are you going to know what's true? Two is sensitivity. Two is the North Pole and the South Pole. Two is the positive and negative charge. Two is the masculine and feminine. Two is the light and the dark. Look at her face. Look at this beautiful shadow line all the way down the front. Half her face is in shadow and half of it is in the light. Cannot have one without the other. So where is the mastery there? And if I go back to that, how do you give yourself love? Can you name the ways that you give yourself love and support and care and tenderness and kindness? Grab a journal. These are the ways. If there are no ways, right, there are no ways, and move forward from there. We can only work with what we've got at the moment. And of course, stay with this energy. There's so many people at the moment that are just sleeping. Do you remember I said the other day the sun was out and I heard my nagging inner voice going, oh, weather's lovely, you should go out. No, I'm perfect being perfectly still. And being in my sensory perception, strengthening my inner trust. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting ready for April, because bam, the energy is getting a bit, I think that's part of what I'm in. I don't know what's Mercury doing. Mercury, Mars, it's very masculine, active, dynamic. It's settling down now. It's moving up into the throat. What do I want? Do I want those? I don't want those. I don't want those. I'm gonna go for these. And let's ask a couple of questions, shall we? What might be? What's the message at the moment from the masculine to the feminine? What is the message at the moment from the masculine to the feminine? Just heard this weird tone in my right ear. What's the message from the masculine to the feminine at the moment? Not those cards, is it? Okay. What's the message from the masculine to the feminine? What does he want to say to her? Told ya. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. It's going to happen fast. So the Chariot is about speed and movement, but it's also about controlling the light and the shadow within you. And the masculine and the feminine. It's about balance. Look how he's balancing on the carriage. Balance, core strength, poise. Because speed and movement are coming. Strength. He's not got any body armor on or a helmet in case he falls. He's got the strength of a lamb. The strength of a lamb. Why? Because he trusts himself. Okay, it's that knowing. It's the difference between I know and I know I know. Okay, so strength. 8. Wow. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So we've got the Lovers, Chariot, and Strength. 3 major arcanas. Wow, so the Chariot, Strength, and the Hermit have already been out in a different reading. Are these conflicting energies or what? The Hermit goes within, it's very still. Chariot isn't. Ah, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. It's exactly what I'm feeling. I love it when it comes together like this. So exactly what I'm feeling are those 2 energies. They're here now, downloading. And you know, the more I talk, the more it's calming down, it's dissipating and integrating. It's going to be some swift changes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Strength. Where does your strength come from? Is it mental strength? Is it spiritual strength? Is it love strength? Is it kindness strength? Is it core strength? Where does your strength come from? What makes you strong? Okay, so he wants to talk to her about that. This looks to me, if this is a message from the masculine to the feminine, then he's bringing in the Lovers, I want to be with you. The Chariot, now. Strength, I'm a bit nervous. And the Hermit, and there's a part of me that just wants to sit and do nothing about it. I've had a deep think about it. Or I've had a deep feel about it. I've gone within, I've done loads of thinking. Okay, beautiful. So, what does the feminine want to say to the masculine in terms of this reading? What does the feminine want to say to the masculine? Gosh. Oh, she's got her confidence on. Look, I've got everything I need. And until you're ready, I'm resting. Okay? I've got everything I need, and until you're ready, I'm nesting. I'm restoring and replenishing, because when you come in, you might come in like that. I love this reading. This is so cute. Okay, so that's what she's saying to him. Okay. I want to see the narrative that's best going to help them. I know it's very, very general. It's going to be impossible to pick out. Well, let's see. We see mind, King of Swords. Well, I know I'm strategizing. Let's see what comes in. What would be their best approach when the masculine approaches the feminine equally? Interesting. Take your time. I want to get a clarifier on this. That's the first message. Take your time. There's no hurry. Okay, can you give me a clarifier? Okay. Oh, wow. Right. I think what I'm being given is the card from the masculine and the card from the feminine. Yeah. If this is a message for the masculine, then it might say something like, don't come in hot. Take your time. No, it's for both. I'm sorry. I'm just tracking the energies. There's more than one energy here. And the hangman is also about looking at a situation, well, inverted, standing on your head. If this made perfect sense, what sense would it make? It's one of my favorite questions, because it takes the blinkers off of expectation. But if it made perfect sense, and if there were no rules and no parameters, then what sense would it make? And it might be that just drops you into sensory perception. Actually, how do I feel in this? Because the other card that I wanted the clarifier on is the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is like, what? She's got it all together. Queen of Wands is powerfully ambitious, together, runs the company, raises the children, and manifests with her wand. But it's gonna come. There is an offer of something real coming in. Something in the physical. Now there's no cups. I'm noticing there's no cups of love here. There's fire, passion, earth, physical. And the hangman. A pause. Or slow it down. Slow that chariot down. Don't get a pause with that. I just get pace yourself. Pace yourself. Yeah, there's another message here actually about blindfolds and filters. And blindfolds and filters can literally make us think we hear something that hasn't been said. So because this is in the physical, my guidance to you might be, what is really here? There's a useful sentence that I use when I'm doing couples therapy, which is, so the piece of work I do is how to have a better row. So because people don't know how to fight and come through it, and that's one of the healthiest processes in any intimate relation, in any relationship. If you don't know how to fight, you're in trouble. And so one of the pieces of work we do is what I heard you say was, okay, and that allows two people to talk. And that allows the clarity to rise up of, oh God, I thought I heard you say this. But actually that's my projections. That's my screen. That's the Vaseline on my eyeballs that has clouded me to your truth all of this time. So stick with what's real. Stick with what's really here. What's the true energy? Okay. Because this has its light expression and its shadow expression. Shadow expression might be illusion and need and a bit of romance and a bit of hallmark. Love doesn't look like that. Love looks, well, that's for you to know. Wow, okay. So best energy for when these two come together, whether it's in the 3D physical, which it might very well be, or whether this is an internal sacred union, is pace yourself, be true to what is actually there. And if it helps, what I heard you say was, okay? She might need to surrender a little bit of her awesome so that she can receive his pentacle. Boom. Oh, bam. I really love these cards. They are fantastic and I will only get better. Okay, I want a closing message. Look at the underlying card. Wow, underlying card, another major arcana. It's the end of a cycle and the beginning of another one. It is moving your world. Jumping timelines I've got with this, jumping timelines. Well, my darlings, that is it. Happy April. I have no idea what's going to turn out. What shall I call this? No idea. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with my love. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all your love and the little conversations that are starting to happen. Gorgeous. So much love, me darlings, and I'll see you again very, very soon.